Zach Saxton in Aspen Park, Colorado. Dr. Chapman, I'm loving this interview. Is greed and other negative things a desperate attempt from people who do not know how to fill their love tank?
I think often people's negative behavior is evidence of lack of love, whether it's greed or other things. That often when people's love tank is empty and they don't feel love, let's keep it in marriage, by their spouse, they will often have negative behavior toward their spouse. It may be harsh words, it may be withdrawal, it may be going out and spending lots of money to buy things they can't afford. It can be all kind of things. And it's really an effort to influence the other person or manipulate the other person so that they will recognize that they need to, give love to this person. Those things are almost never positive. They almost never have good results. They drive the person further away from you. The best approach in terms of getting the love you want is to start giving the love that the other person desires. You initiate it. There's this interesting concept in the Bible that says we love God because God first loved us. Well, that same principle is true in human relationships. If you reach out to love another person, there's a good chance that they're going to reciprocate. Now, not everyone will, to be sure, just as not everyone responds to the love of God. But the most powerful thing you can do to receive love is to become a lover, is to give love to the other person. And then you can request things that you would consider to be loving from them, and they have a choice to follow your request or not to follow it. Remember, love is always a choice. You can't demand love. You can desire love, but you can't command it from someone. But if you love them and make a request, there's a good chance they will respond.
It's like love is something you do. When I look at these love languages, it's always it's an action that you take in communicating this love.
Well, it is, Steve. We think of love as an emotion, and it does have an emotional aspect. But at its root, love is an attitude, and love is behavior. The attitude is, how can I help you? What can I do to enrich your life? How can I make your life easier? It's a way of thinking toward other people. Then it is expressed in behavior. And the 5 love languages, they're really all behaviors. If you look at them, words and acts and gifts and physical touch, all those things are actions. And you can do them even if you don't have warm feelings. And that's the good news, is that love is not a feeling. Love is an attitude with behavior, but love stimulates emotions. And we sometimes equate love with emotion, but really it's love that stimulates positive emotions.
I'm going to actually stop with this feedback. We only got a couple minutes left. It's not a question, but I thought it was funny. Madeline Brown in Bear River City, Utah writes, I'm going to now make it a prerequisite for anyone dating me to first read this book.
I think that's a good idea. Incidentally, there is an edition now for singles. It's called the 5 Love Languages Singles Edition, in which I help the single adult apply this in dating relationships. So you might want to read that one.
It would be great if you had some helpful tips on how to tell what the person you're with, even though you don't know them, if you're on the first, second, or third date, how to tell what their love language is.
Yeah, well, and I do, in fact. Of course, you can't get it quite that quickly sometimes, but if you observe, this is the simplest thing, you observe how they tend to treat other people. If they're always giving people pats on the back, then probably physical touch is their language. If you hear them verbally affirming other people, then words of affirmation is probably their language. So, I do give some clues in how to observe other people and pick up on their love language.
Dr. Chapman, this hour went way too fast, but I want to get all your information out there before the end of the show. What did you say your personal website was?
GaryChapman.org.
You can check out GaryChapman.org or the5lovelanguages.com. We've been speaking with Dr. Gary Chapman, marriage counselor, pastor, speaker, radio show host, and internationally bestseller author of numerous books. We were talking today about the 5 love languages, how to express heartfelt commitment to your mate. What a fantastic interview. If you missed any part of it, you could check out our website and listen to the archives, and don't forget to pass along. Dr. Chapman, thank you so much for coming on, and I look forward to having you on again.
Well, thank you, Steve. Always good to be with you, and you keep up the good work.
Thank you very much. Folks, you're listening to Empowered Living, Life, the Truth, and Being Free. Don't forget to check out our live event schedule at bettertoday.com, and the archives of every show we've ever done is available at empoweredlivingradio.com. This is definitely a great show that I will be listening to later on. As the host, sometimes you don't get to enjoy the show as much because I'm reading the feedback and everything else, but this is a book that really did strike me, and I'll be checking out this show later on as a fan. So don't forget to check that out at empoweredlivingradio.com. Again, Dr. Chapman's website, the5lovelanguages.com, and GaryChapman.org. You're listening to Empowered Living. We'll see you next time, folks. Have a great day.
A Better Today would like to thank you for listening to Empowered Living, Life, the Truth, and Being Free.